So this is a Swift Celebration 4EB. We're going to take you around the operation of the van. So at the front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. These parts will demonstrate to you in person here on site. If you've caravan before, you've more than likely had an Elco hitch and you've used a jockey wheel and handbrake before, so that probably won't be too big of an issue for some people. So we'll take you through that anyway while you're here on site and show you how to hook up. In the front locker, you've got your gas regulator on the bulkhead. It does not come with the gas pipe work that goes from the regulator to the bottle. However, in the bottom of the locker there, you'll actually see your water pump for the water system on board the caravan, or the water pickup pipe, shall I say, on this particular van. On each side of the caravan at the front, you've got your two wind down legs. So you'll find here, you've got one leg, and on the opposite side of the van, you've got another leg. You'll wind them down and put them down on the ground. Then at the back of the van, coming in from the rear, you've got your two wind down legs that come in from the rear of the van also. You've then got your water pump connection. You connect the pump up to the side of the van and drop it into your aqua roll. So like I said, on this particular van, it's just a pickup pipe, not an aqua roll. Sorry, not a water pump, sorry, it's just a pickup pipe. You've then got your Truma heating and hot water flue, which is very simply there just to allow the heating system to breathe. We put a temporary battery on the van for now just so we can demonstrate everything is working. That will be removed at the end of the handover. And then you've got your mains power lead coming in from the power on site, which goes into that locker. You've then got two fridge vents. The two fridge vents are very simply there to allow the hot air out from behind the fridge unit, and it will take in some cool air so it cools the unit down. Obviously, if it does get too hot, the fridge will not operate at the same degree of coolness as what it normally would. You then got your motor mover and your wheel nuts. We'll torque the wheel nuts prior to the caravan leaving site, and we'll also engage the motor mover. Then got your toilet flush tank. You're going to open this up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Then in the bottom you have your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees to tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Back of the van, as you can see, you've got your two wind down legs. Well, you've got one here and then one on the opposite side. And coming down the door side, you've got your 3-pin socket coming out to your awning. You've got your storage locker for underneath your front seating area and your barbecue gas point. And the last of the wind down legs. Coming on to the inside of the caravan now, above the door as we walk in, we're going to turn on the power for the caravan on this button here in the centre. You've got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. We've got the awning light for the outside of the caravan just here. You've got your leisure battery voltage on the button on the centre here, which as you can see coming up. You've got an indicator here to say we've got mains power coming from the power post to the caravan. And then you've got your levels from the 12 volt charging from the car as well. If you connect it to the car and you have all three of these lights lit up at the same time, you do need to make sure you disconnect the mains power or the car as quickly as you can. You can view the levels also by pressing the button just here, and you can turn your interior lights on and off on the button on the right hand side. To fill the water system up, which is going to be the first thing you're always going to do with a caravan like this, you can come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan. Underneath the seat you'll find a yellow valve. At the moment the water system is completely drained down, so that valve is pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat. So that is in the drain position. If the valve was flat with the floor, it'd actually be in the fill position. Whilst I'm underneath here, I'm also just going to show you the 240 trip switches and the 12 volt fuses for the caravan. So you'll notice you have a complete system shutdown button just here. Hit the button and when it's popped up, that'll isolate all of the mains power and the 12 volt power. You then got your 12 volt fuses underneath this panel just here. On the panel on the left hand side here, you've got the 240 trip switches. And you've got your main power switch for your charger and your heating and hot water. Do advise you leave these on at all times. And then you've got reverse polarity for when you are in some European countries. On the door there is a list of what the 240 trip switches are for, and also the 12 volt fuses on board the caravan. So we're now ready to fill the water system up. As we've put I haven't obviously done it at the moment, but you put that yellow switch down. You'll open all the taps up in the hot position on board the caravan. Into the hot position. That'll be all the taps on board the caravan with the aqua roll connected on the outside. And then we'll turn the water pump on the control panel just here. Once we have the water system completely full and we have water running out of every tap on board the caravan, you leave the pump on and just shut all of the taps back off. So what you'll hear is, you can probably hear the pump running in the background there. Shut all of these taps off, and after a few seconds the pump will then actually turn off itself. Obviously at the moment, because it's got no water in the system, it won't actually do that, so I'm just going to manually turn the pump off. It's a pressure pump, so obviously when it sees pressure and it sees the pressure system is full, it will turn that pump off and then turn it back on every time the mark switch is turned on in the tap. Once you have the water system full, you can actually then start thinking about heating the caravan. That's where the control panel here on the top right hand side comes in. We're going to turn this off first of all, so I can show you how to turn it all on. I'm just going to turn this off. So that is the control panel off. Once that screen goes blank, so we're going to turn it on by pressing the central button. The first icon you see flashing here is the room temperature. To set this, you hit the central button, and you've got the heater, or AC, depending on which one you want to use. So we're going to use the heater, and then you can spin the dial around to the temperature you want it to be at. To select the temperature, hit the central button, and if you wanted to do the AC, you do the same thing again, on, cool, vent, auto, as you can see, and then it will be able to select the temperatures through there. When you come across to the next symbol, you have the option for your hot water. So you've got the option of off, eco, hot, or boost. Obviously boost is for when you're showering. Hot is if you want to keep the water hot on board the tank, and the eco is just a mild temperature on the water. I'm going to turn that off for now, as we have no water on board the caravan. The next symbol across is the power supply you want to use for the heating and hot water. So you've got gas on its own, which you simply hit the central button with the gas turned on and it will self-ignite. Mix 1 is a combination of gas and 1000 watts of electric. Mix 2 is 2000 watts of electric and a combination of gas. Electric 1 is 1000 watts of electric on its own. And electric 2 is 2000 watts of power on its own. Last thing we see in the top row here is for the fan heat, for the blown air heating. So you've got eco, high, or boost, depending on what you are trying to do with the heating system. When you are letting it warm up initially, I would advise you just have it on the eco setting and leave it on there for about an hour before you turn it up onto boost. Down the bottom, you have got some advanced settings. Here, you've got a timer for your heating and hot water systems. I advise for these, you read the manual that comes with the caravan. The button here is actually for the lighting on the air conditioning unit. So as you see, I can actually change the brightness of them lights or turn them off completely through there, should I wish to. You've then got your time for the screen here and some advanced settings in the end of the control panels here. For those, again, I do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan, as if I tried to explain in the video, I'd probably be doing the video for 2 to 3 hours. Next thing we are going to go through is the fridge. So very simple to use, power on the power button on the left hand side here. At the moment we're connected to mains power, and if you're on mains or gas you can use the thermometer button to control the temperature of the fridge. Obviously the higher this goes, the maximum, the colder the fridge setting will be. Hit the mode button and it will automatically select the power supply that it sees first. 12 volt mode. 12 volt mode is the 12 volt supply from the car you are towing with, not the 12 volt supply from the caravan itself. To ignite the fridge on gas, you'll hit the gas option. The fridge will self-ignite on gas, and if it fails to ignite on gas, it will start flashing the pilot light here, and it will also flash or have the blue warning light on underneath the warning triangle on the left-hand side here. Turn the fridge off, press and hold the power button, and it will isolate the power to the fridge. The microwave works very much like your household microwave, no differences at all there. Hob, grill and oven, again, as long as the gas is turned on, it will work like your household oven. Shower system, during the winter, I do advise you take the shower head off completely and drop the pipework to the ground with the taps open in the central position between the hot and the cold. Same as a tap in the bathroom. And then obviously you've got your bedroom at the end there that's already set up with the bed already out. That does lift up so you can access the storage underneath. Toilet system has an electric flush on top, so you're going to press the flush here to flush the toilet system. You've then got a red indicator light here which illuminates red when the toilet cassette is completely full. Toilet seat itself turns for your convenience. However, when you are removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, you need to make sure this toilet's in the straight on position as it is now. Then below the toilet you have the grey waste handle. We'll open this up in when you're using the toilet, and you'll have it in a closed position when you're not using the toilet. So that is the Swift Celebration 4EV. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.